Hey everybody, Logan here. Yeah, it's Logan. I know, I know. The hair, it's kind of gone. It disappeared, just like Kevin Smith's credibility. Ha! You see what I did there? Yeah. So we're not gonna talk about that. There's a million other videos out there. I did my review. I talked about how much it bothered me. But today we are going to talk about He-Man, and we are going to talk about Masters of the Universe Revelation, Teela's Revelation, that mess. But we're going to talk about it how we would talk about it on this channel. How it's going to affect the possibility of He-Man video games in the future. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Red Bandana Gaming, the channel where Logan will show you everything from gameplay to gear. Their crew is here to take you on a journey through every atmosphere. Releases to news, you don't have to choose. Red Bandana Gaming is here for you.
Okay, now that you guys are all done laughing or crying or just closing your eyes and wishing my hair would come back, or being happy that it's gone, I don't know. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into basically every Master Universe game that has come out from the inception of the series to recent. And we all know the disaster that Kevin Smith made, and the lies and the just the horrendous nature of that awful show. And it's not just going to affect the toy sales. We all know it's going to affect the toys. The toys might have sold well before the show premiered, but it's going to bomb. I bought the Skeletor and the He-Man before the show aired, knowing that there was probably going to be a problem. I still had faith. I bought those, watched the show the next day. It was terrible, as we all know, just like all the big channels have shown, whether it's Clownfish TV, Geeks and Gamers, Yellow Flash, shoot, even the Quartering has even talked about it. So we're talking about channels that don't usually, focus solely on Masters of the Universe. There's a number of different channels out there. My channel, it's not even technically a video game. I covered the review, and you guys knew how I feel about that. But yesterday I had walked into a Target because I had to pick up some stuff before we headed home, and I saw the Skelegod figure. I looked at it, showed it to my wife, and she just gave me this weird look. She knew. She's been hearing it for days how much I despise the show, and how the world despises the show, except for paid critics and Hollywood shills. But I saw the figure and I said, this is what I was talking about. She just looks at me and I just drop it and walk away. She's like, you're not going to get it? Hell no. But I did see the classic figures. Now, I'm a little torn on the classic figures because I love them. I bought a number of them. But we need to let Mattel know what they did here with Kevin Smith and Netflix was wrong. But I have a big feeling that Mattel didn't know what they were doing until, like, the very end. Maybe they only had the character concepts, and that's what they made the figures off of, but nobody knew what the show was going to be about. So with that being said, all this nonsense of the show, how bad it was, it's going to affect figure sales. But the big thing is, it'll most likely affect the chance of us ever getting a He-Man game again, especially a quality one, because we know that they don't like He-Man over there. They want Teela, and that's not Teela. But hey, I'm not going to get into that. I already did. Check out that video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down the list of He-Man games that have come out since the inception of the series, all the way from 1983 to the latest one that was in 2012. So it started with Masters of the Universe Power of He-Man for the Atari 2600 in 1983. Then, in 1986, we had Masters of the Universe Super Adventure, also named Masters of the Universe in TerraQuake, for the BBC Micro, Commodore 64, and ZX Spectrum in 1986. Then we had Masters of the Universe, the arcade game, for the Amstrad CPC, BBC Micro, Commodore 64, ZX Spectrum. And for the Commodore 64, that game was retitled He-Man the Masters of the Universe, the Ill-Earth Stone. And that was the Commodore 64 version in 1987. The next one that year was Masters of the Universe, the movie for the MSX. And if you guys haven't seen the movie, well, go watch the movie. It's much better than the nonsense that, well, Revelation. So, the next one after that, which I currently own, is He-Man Power of Grayskull, of course, Masters of the Universe, for the Game Boy Advance, which came out in 2002. I actually have a complete copy of that. And the next one after that, for the same series, He-Man Defender of Grayskull for the PS2 in 2003. Now, that was only released in the UK. I did import that myself a while ago. Unfortunately, I have no way to play it. I'm going to figure out how to play it eventually. If you guys have any ideas or any ways that I can play a European game on a US console, on a US TV, and game capture that, let me know. But the final one was He-Man, the most powerful game in the universe, and that came out for the iOS and Android in 2012. It was also renamed simply He-Man, the most powerful game, when it came out on the Android. Don't know why, but yeah, that came out in 2012, and that was the last bit of He-Man video games we have gotten. So with that being said, knowing the history of He-Man video games, wow, and the lackluster backlog history of games, and the story of all this nonsense that's been going on with this horrible television show called Netflix series called Revelation, will we actually get a new He-Man video game? My bets are no. If they were going to do it, we'd probably heard about it right now to go alongside. But this is my personal opinion. I think enough people behind the scenes knew that this was going to be a disaster. And Kevin Smith, with all of his lies, especially after he started putting out the lies and everything, and then now insulting the fans, insulting the people that I will actually make this property money, this will be dropped. So we won't see a game anytime soon, especially not based on the Revelation property. I have a feeling what's going to happen after this debacle ends, and it's probably going to be a year or two, if not more. We're going to see a quick turnaround to He-Man in different medias. And we're going to see maybe a new comic book. We already have that new animated show that's supposed to be coming out on Netflix, and it's called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Now, if that goes over well, we could see a game based off of that iteration of He-Man, and that would be fine. If it goes over well, keeps He-Man, even if he is redesigned. I've seen some of the toys, and he's got all this big armor and everything. I'm okay with that. 2002 had stuff like that. That was a really good series. So, if that's the case, we could see something based off of that, but that is a more child-friendly IP variation of Masters of He-Man. So if we see a game, it could be based off of that. But with the way Netflix is going, people could just, drop it altogether. That could hurt the license. But as I was saying, we could just see everything disappear within 2 or 3 years, maybe a resurgence, because Mattel doesn't want to sit on the hurting, the disrespect, or the scar over the face of Masters of the Universe. And we could see it come to another company. Maybe see a quick animated movie instead of a whole series. I don't know. This is me just throwing shit to the wind. But I don't see a video game coming out anytime soon based on Revelation, or especially while so many people have such a bad taste in their mouth, unless it's saved by this new He-Man and the Masters of the Universe children's show. Rumor has it that there's also a live-action Masters of the Universe show in production by Netflix, which I'm hoping after the disaster that is Revelation, they kind of pull back that a bit, just go, yeah, and look at it and make sure it's all about He-Man, if they do it, and make sure it's done right. Don't insult He-Man, don't insult the fans, just say this is the true sequel, and give us what we want, and then maybe we'll get a game off of that. But as of right now, I don't see a new He-Man game coming whatsoever. Or they could just, shock us all and come out with a brand new He-Man game that's not based on any license of the last 20 years and just bring us something for the original. Now, there was one other game. It wasn't a He-Man game. It was a Toy Soldiers game that came out on... I don't know if it was on PlayStation. I do know if it was on Xbox. I have it myself. And it did feature He-Man. But it wasn't a He-Man game. So these were the mainline He-Man games. Hopefully we will see one. Not based on the horrendous Revelation. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get something really good in the foreseeable future. But I don't see it happening. But hey, tell me what you guys think. Would you be interested in playing a brand new Masters of the Universe game? One based off something good like the original. Or, a new movie. Because we know that's still probably in the works. I wonder if that's going to be the same live action one. Or if it's going to be a series. I don't know. Too many rumors right now. But right now we're all hurt. We've all been punched in the proverbial gonads over Revelation. And right now we just need to heal. But thank you guys so much. Again, drop your comments in the comment section below. Tell me what you think. Head on over to redbandanagaming.com. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on our socials. Like this video. Share this video. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again. And I swear I'm the same person. It's just gone. It's just gone. Thanks again.